Hey, welcome back to another edition of Everything Football 62. I'm your host, Jonathan Big Tex Johnson, a.k.a. Uncle Tex, a.k.a. Professor Tex. Before we get started, smash that like button, subscribe to the page. Got any questions, concerns, leave them down below. We'll talk about it. Got any debate stuff you want to talk about certain things. Let's be respectful. We get on it and whatnot. We can talk about anything you want to talk about as long as it's dealing with football. Let's just jump into this right now. I am sick and tired of hearing this elite quarterback nonsense. It's who's the elite quarterback? The elite quarterback, elite. Never heard all that mess before. Thanks to social media, whether it's Facebook, whether it's Instagram, whether it's YouTube, whether it's Twitter, whether it's TikTok, and all those other type of things like that. I don't want to hear anything about elite quarterbacks. Because this era really doesn't have elite quarterbacks. There is but one elite quarterback in the NFL. One. And he's showing right there on the screen right now. There is but one. One. There is one elite quarterback. Now I can go back to the 90s where you had a plethora of elite quarterbacks who put up numbers and who also won championships as well. I don't want to hear anything about this time here in the 2020s of anybody talking about elite quarterbacks. I'm tired of hearing about that. Elite. I said you cannot judge elite quarterbacks merely by just numbers. Although numbers are extremely important, but when you're playing in the era where jokers sit up there and throw the ball 35, 45 fucking times a game, they're going to put up numbers. I just watched Sam Howell for the Skins throw over for 4 touchdowns over the Philadelphia Eagles. Just watch that. Sam Howell, which is basically, I don't know, his best, because he's an ACC quarterback, he reminds you of what Sonny Jurgensen would be if Sonny Jurgensen was today, kind of a chubby, fat kind of quarterback. Got a pretty good arm and stuff like that. I like him. He's okay as a football player and stuff like that, but it's still, I say, I don't know if they're going to win with him. But let's do this. I've been hearing all this elite stuff. The only elite quarterback right now is on the screen right now. Let's do this. I'm going to do this for shits and giggles. If we're talking about eliteness, right? Since 2018, Patrick Mahomes has won 2 MVPs, league MVPs, 2 Super Bowl MVPs, has been all pro for 3 years, 2-time first team, 1-time second team. Offensive player of the year. And 5-time Pro Bowler. Even though Pro Bowls mean absolutely squat nowadays. But he's made them. I don't even think he's even played in one because he's in every goddamn championship game. So because you don't even play in Pro Bowl. Pro Bowls used to be after you played the Super Bowl in Hawaii. But that's a whole other story within itself. I've already addressed that. Mahomes is here, guys. Elite. Josh Allen, I'm going to put him down here. Because he's won a lot of games. I will give him that. Go below, I'm going to put Lamar Jackson. Simply because if Lamar Jackson doesn't get hurt in 2021, 2022, missing those games, not only will they win the North, they probably is facing Mahomes them in those championship games. And had the game won last year until they sit up there, let Homie sit up there, try to run the ball, so give the damn ball to J.K. Dobbins. Lamar's out. And for the record, for all these assholes who want to talk shit about Lamar Jackson running, he got hurt in the pocket. In the pocket. Okay? In the pocket. Not running around. Like the great Randall Cunningham said, I've never got hurt in the pocket. He said, I never got hurt running the ball. I got hurt in the pocket. You follow what I'm saying? And he's playing some hell of a football right now. Lamar Jackson, the Baltimore Ravens. But let's go back. So I told you that. And then if you want to throw Joe Burrow in there, fine. But as far as we talk about elite, it's not that many elite quarterbacks. I could name some elite quarterbacks from back in the day at the same time in the same era. Because the way that I put up who's elite means that you're top of your game in every facet. You're winning ball games, you're putting up numbers, and you're stacking up those awards. Who else is doing that besides Mahomes since 2018? Joe Burrow hasn't even made a Pro Bowl. He hasn't even made an All-Pro team. He's made a Pro Bowl. He hasn't even made an All-Pro team yet. At least Allen has at least won some games, won his division. Now, old boy has won the Super Bowl and is 1-1 in the AFC Championship. And I'm talking about Burrow. But anything else, no, he's not up there. And then try to slide Justin Herbert in there. And as I found a dude over in Barstool, this motherfucker since 2020 has lost 28 games. But that's the Chargers. The Chargers is that type of particular organization where they sit up there and they will not do what they need to do. You go back to the Dan Fouts era, 78, 79, and 80. Throw 81 in there. Them guys should have at least won one Super Bowl because their offense was just that prolific at that time. Between Aaron Coryell with Joe Gibbs there as well. Go look up the clips. Them guys had everything you needed, and they just could not get it done. Phillip Rivers teams, LaDainian Tomlinson, Gates, Antonio Gates. You had all of those guys there, lights out. All of those guys, them guys could not. They should have beat they were far superior than a New England team, and they ended up losing. Couldn't get it done. But that's that franchise in a nutshell. But elite quarterback? Let me do this here. Lamar Jackson would be sitting up there because Lamar Jackson, like I said, I already told you about it. You talking about 2-time Pro Bowl, 1-time All-Pro, MVP, and whatnot. And this man, right now, he's sitting at a 50-18 record. Joe Burrow, who's done some nice things, not taking nothing from Joe Burrow as a football guy and whatnot. His 2021 season, 2022, like I said, his window has went from this to this because they're going to have to end up paying Jamar Chase something. They're going to have to pay him something as if they're going to be planning to keep him because he's going to want some money. He's top 5 receiver. Mixon already took a pay cut to play. Let's see what happens this year. We'll see. But he's put up back-to-back years, basically the same stats and whatnot. If they don't get it done this year, that team, mark my words, you heard it here first, will fall apart like stewed chicken for 3 hours inside of a fucking crock pot. It will be done. And the bone going to be out of it. It's going to be over, said and done with. And that team will fall back into the dark ages what the Cincinnati Bengals have a tendency to do in their franchise history anyway. Go to Josh Allen. I talked about Josh Allen. Josh Allen, you're talking about somebody who is 57-27. The last, since 2019, going into 2022 and whatnot. Right now, he's at 57-27. All that stuff great. Magnum Opus, 2020, going to 2021, playoffs with that game and all that. That's the only thing we're talking about. What has he done since then? Nothing. Hasn't happened. It has not happened. Hasn't happened. And like I say, hell of a talent. He has all of the things. He has a receiver. He has everything. But he will make mistakes. Now, he played a hell of a game there Thursday night. But in the end, playing a hell of a game Thursday night and whatnot, against Tampa Bay, Tampa Bay almost won that damn game. And he made some bonehead mistakes up in that thing now. But it's like, but Josh had hell of a talent. Give him props. Like I said, Mahomes is here. He's here. I'm going to give it to Lamar. Lamar, whatever. And then you want to give it to Joe Burrow. It's kind of a here and there. Because Lamar had been hurt for the last 2 years. Lamar had been hurt 2 years. Joe Burrow's not even in the fucking conversation, man. He's not even in the conversation. Not even. Where's the Pro Bowl? Where's the All Pro? He's been to a Super Bowl. He's been into an AFC Championship. That's where you might get the nod on top of Lamar, but being elite, no. Now, back in the day, if I want to go back and talk about Marino, if I want to go back and talk about Montana, if I want to go back and talk about Steve Young, if I want to go back and talk about Aikman, if I want to go talk about those type of quarterbacks, those were elite quarterbacks. If you go back to 2000 and start talking about whether it was Manning, whether it was Brady, whether it was Drew Brees and whatnot, elite quarterbacks. They put up numbers and they won games. And they played in big games and they had awards. That has to count for something. You can't just sit there. Now you try to bring in Justin Herbert. Justin Herbert, as I said, has lost 28 games since 2020 coming into the league. And then that debacle that they had against Jacksonville last year in the divisional round. I think it was a wild card game, going to the divisional round and whatnot. There's no way you up 20 some odd points and that happens. An elite quarterback will not allow that to happen. He allowed it to happen. But I'm not trying to put him on that because at that time, second year, what did he do? So again, Patrick Mahomes is the only elite quarterback in the league at this time as we speak. The only elite quarterback. So you go back from 2018 up to 2022, Mahomes has 2 MVPs. Lamar Jackson has 1. The changing of the guard came with Pat Mahomes in 2018. You want to see what he did in 2018 for those that forget? Fuck it. We got time. We got plenty of time. 2018, he went 12-4, 5,097 yards, 50 touchdowns, only 12 picks. And they go to the AFC Championship game. If it wasn't for goddamn Gay, they go to the Super Bowl to play the Rams and beat the Rams. The next year, they go again. They go again. What happens? He misses all his offensive linemen and whatnot against Tampa Bay in the 2020 in this COVID year. They played the fucked up half and that of the second half against Burrow and them. You're talking about somebody could possibly have four championships right now. No other quarterback at this particular point in time is even doing this. So what are we talking about elite? I don't want to hear shit about them other guys. You want to try to throw in Kirk Cousins? No. I just named you your elite quarterbacks. If we want to go team by team, it's not even close, man. He's head and shoulders above the rest. So it's only one elite quarterback. As I can go back and find 3 or 4 elite quarterbacks back in the day. There is no elite quarterback. The only elite quarterback in the NFL today is Patrick Mahomes. He is the only elite quarterback. Everybody else is very good, pretty good, and so-so. Now, you can sit up there and talk that mess all you want, like I said, and going back. And Josh Allen is the closest you're going to get to him. But now you don't know what you get because their window, because they were supposed to get it done last year. If Josh Allen and the Bills don't get it done this year, that team will be dismantled. That team will be dismantled. Guarantee it will be dismantled. It will be dismantled. And like I said, we're going to see what happens with Cincinnati. And like I said, they talk all that stuff about what you call it. Now, you want to talk shit about people want to talk mess about Dak Prescott and this. I don't put Dak Prescott is a very good quarterback. Does he have to win? Yes. Have to win. He got to win. Can't keep throwing these titles up. But Kirk Cousins and them goddamn funky ass Redskins, that ownership, they started this shit. But throwing money at the position and whatnot. There was a time if you played good football, especially at the quarterback position, if you play hellified football and whatnot, you got rewarded. You don't get rewarded just because you got some numbers and you're not winning. You have to win. How is these guys getting contracts based upon numbers because they can throw the ball 40 sometimes a game? You can't touch the goddamn receiver. You can't intimidate anybody. You can't do anything. But you give them this money. That was my hatred against that of Kirk Cousins. Not his fault. Those are owners' fault. You cannot throw money at a position and then throw money at the position. In other words, if I make the most money, that means I'm an elite quarterback. False. It's a false narrative. And you can't keep pushing that shit. That's what fucks the game up. That fucks the game up. All across the board, that fucks the game up. Now, guys make whatever money they want to make. It ain't about me pocket watching. If you want to give a joker $50 million a year, that's your business. I don't see it. If you can't live off a goddamn 8, 10, 15, $20 million a year, something's wrong, bro. Your average American couple is going to be making about $80,000, $90,000 a year. And they're the ones that buy the goddamn tickets. And most of these guys come from families like that, if not worse. But that's another story. So you explain to me, how is somebody better than the Grim Reaper who's elite and everything he's done? I told you guys. What did I tell y'all? I said, you asked me, how do you judge who's a Hall of Famer? I said, if a joker in 5 years is the best, top 3 at the best of his position, year in and year out and whatnot, and he's actually won something, Mahomes can retire today at 27, 28 years old, and he will be a first ballot Hall of Famer. His numbers speak for itself. It's elite. Aaron Rodgers in his time, elite. Even in the midst of the 2018 to 2022, Aaron Rodgers still won two joints. He's won what, four NFL MVPs. The only knock against Rodgers, they feel as though he should have won more Super Bowls. Fair enough. Rest of them guys not where this guy's at now. They're not there. Jalen Rose, hell of a Super Bowl, hell of a season, all that type of stuff. He's not there yet. He's not. He doesn't have the arm talent, the elite arm talent as that man right there. Josh Allen has an elite arm and stuff like that. He still hasn't done it yet. It hasn't done yet. Burrow hasn't done yet. You want to try to sit there and bring in what's his name? My man from play for the Rams. Because he won the Super Bowl. He's been a loser his whole life playing with Detroit. Matthew Stafford. Shit, he done went out with a goddamn messed up thumb or ankle or something like that. Kirk Cousins just went out with a messed up ankle. So now what's going to happen between the next few weeks? You follow what I'm saying? Like I said, man. Hey, man, you can sit up there and call them guys all you want. Say this, say that, say this, say that. It ain't but one. It's the Reaper, man. It's the Grim Reaper. It's the Reaper. That's the only elite quarterback in the league at this point in time. Like I said, if Lamar Jackson doesn't get hurt the last 2 years, he's right up there. Other than that, nah. Head and shoulders above the rest, bro. Head and shoulders above the rest. So stop throwing that elite shit out there because it ain't but one of them guys really doing that for real, at the first 5 years of him starting in his career. And that's Mahomes. And like I said, Lamar was right there, but he got hurt 2021, 2022. When you're doing things like them guys are doing, that's elite. All that other talk about being elite, that shit means nothing. All right? I tell you guys all the time, there's no GOAT, there's no greatest of all time as long as time is still going on. I tell you guys all the time, numbers don't lie and get emotional. People do. You guys have a good one. You guys have a good one.